Starting off this creepy list, and at number 10, Elevator to Another World. Playing this paranormal game supposedly takes you to another world via an elevator. I mean, no thanks. Apparently, you have to find a building with at least 10 floors and ensure that you're the only one riding the elevator. And then you have to push 4-2, 6-2, 10-5. So at the end of that elevator ride, you'll end off on floor 5, where a woman will enter the elevator out of nowhere, and at this point you shouldn't be speaking to her. In fact, don't even look at her. She might be a ghost or a demon or something. After that, press the button for the first floor, but instead of going down, you're gonna go up to the 10th floor, where you're gonna find this like whole new world. To me, it just sounds like the weirdest thing ever, and has this ever worked for anybody? Number 9 takes us to Daruma-san, or the bath game. That originates from Japan, and it involves summoning a ghost which will follow you all day long to try to catch you. There is a specific procedure for summoning this ghost, and once you've completed all of the steps, you will see an image of a Japanese woman standing in front of a bathtub before she falls on a rusty tap, impaling her through the eye. Apparently, you will feel a presence with you all day, and you shouldn't let her catch you, or else she's gonna follow you into your dreams. I mean, holy crap, is this real life right now? Number 8, things are about to get more bizarre. We're talking about the telephone ritual. For this game, you must be at home alone, turn off all the lights, lock yourself in a pitch black bathroom, call your home phone from your cell phone if you have one, hopefully you do, and apparently if someone answers your home phone, you must hang up immediately. If someone answers the home phone and no one else is home, and I know that, I'm gonna be freaking out, and I'm calling 911, and I don't know how I would like contain myself. And you know what? Who comes up with this? Lock yourself in a dark room and call your house phone. If someone picks up, just hang up. Like, okay, this is not a game, people. Also, if you see a change in the surface of the toilet bowl water, or if you hear a noise from somewhere inside of your house, also hang up immediately. Or how about this? Don't go into a dark place to call your house phone, because I don't know. Up next, and at number 7, Bloody Mary. You guys know this. I've tried it, and it freaked me out. This is a classic paranormal game that I'm sure most of us have played in our childhoods, and as grown people as well. So it is believed that in order to summon her, you have to chant Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and all the lights have to be off, and you have to stare in front of the mirror, and you have to have a candle lit as well. Then you wait until you see a woman covered in blood that appears right in front of your eyes, and this is when you freak out and you start screaming. Some people have said that they were either strangled, cursed, or they got their souls taken away from them while playing this game. Moving up this list, at number 6, the Ouija board game. Ouija board first came into existence around the late 19th century, and it is used as a medium to communicate with spirits. It is believed that the spirits can be summoned with the help of the Ouija board, but it can also lead to demonic possession. Number 5 brings us to Charlie Charlie. This is a paranormal game and internet urban legend that gained a sudden surge of popularity. It is very similar to the Magic 8 Ball, in which the game is played using balanced pencils that will shift when you ask it a question. It is said that this game summons a Mexican demon called Charlie who will answer all of your questions. I'm not sure why he's Mexican and why like that would be scary, but if anyone appears in that matter, I would be freaking out. There are a lot of videos online of people playing this game, and it seems to like just creep me out. A game you should never play comes into number 4, One Man Hide and Seek. This paranormal game originated in Japan, and basically you would be playing hide and go seek against a spirit possessed doll. You would need to get a stuffed doll, remove its stuffing, and replace it with rice and a piece of your fingernail. And then you sew the doll's opening with a red thread and wrap the remaining thread around the doll. You must complete another list of tasks, and basically the doll would move locations and you must find the doll. As soon as it moves the first time, I'm not gonna find you. I'm gonna take you and destroy you. I'd probably be too afraid to even do that. I'd just run out of the house screaming like a girl. Ah! Number 3 is the Midnight Game. This paranormal game is said to be an old pagan ritual used as a form of punishment for those who disobeyed the religion. So basically, you have to summon the Midnight Man and walk around your house by making sure that you don't get caught by him. If you manage to avoid being captured by him until 3:33 a.m., then you've won the game. Some people who play this game have experienced hallucinations, and some even left with permanent scars, like on their body, physical scars. This game is not for the faint of heart, but for some reason, it's extremely popular. Now, in at number 2, Closet Game. The objective of this game is to summon a demon, and basically all you need to do is go inside of a pitch black closet. We're inside of another dark place. Okay. You hold up an unlighted match, so you don't light it, you just hold it up, and then you say, "Show me the light," or "Leave me in darkness." Apparently, you're supposed to hear whispering, and at that moment, the match will just light. It is believed then something will grab you from behind and then drag you into external darkness. Even if you do everything right, you need to make sure that the light's on whenever you look inside of your closet, because now it is permanently haunted by a demon. Is this even a game? This is not a game, guys. This is freaky. You can never go into your closet again if you lose power to the house. And finally, making its way into number 1 spot is Dry Bones. To start this game, you need to go inside of your bathroom at 12 a.m. and look at your reflection in the mirror and repeat the following 3 times. "Demons shall come to my house, please come in." And you say that 2 more times. This apparently summons a demon, and the demon requires you to light a candle. The game is over if you manage to hide from the demon until the candle burns out. Does this sound fun to you guys? I mean, yes, this is not fun. This is scary. Who comes up with this stuff?
Coming in at number 10, we have One Man Hide and Seek. In Japan, this game is known as Hitoru Kakurenbo. I might have said that wrong. Let me tell you though, your stuffed toy will never be the same again. So, what you need here is a stuffed animal, but it has to have arms and legs, so think bear rather than crocodile. Also, it has to have a name. For example, Ted the Dread. Basically, you cut Ted the Dread open, remove his stuffing, replace it with rice, and then some fingernail clippings. Creepy. You then sew the bear back up, wrap it, thread it, do all of that kind of stuff, put it back together. You then put this stuffed toy in the bath and say, for the first game, I'm it. You then count to 10 with your eyes closed, then you're supposed to stab the toy and say I won. Just sounds very dramatic. You then announce to the toy that it is gonna be it, and then you have to go and hide. For some reason it's important that you hide with a glass of salt water, and if you feel scared, put some of that in your mouth. When the game is over and the toy hasn't found you in an hour, fingers crossed, you go back, spit the salt water on the toy and burn it. Bye, Ted! Honestly, it all sounds like a lot of hassle to me. Ah yes, at number 9, we have a classic. It's the Ouija board. Tale as old as time, right? Do you guys even need me to explain this one? Can we just move on to number 8? No? I have to say the words? Okay then. An Ouija board is a board with printed letters, numbers and signs, plus the words yes, no, good and bye. It is used to summon spirits and communicate with them. Famously, bad spirits have indeed been summoned. Interestingly, you can actually buy an Ouija board in a lot of mainstream game shops. Why buy one when you could make one yourself? Coming into number 8, we have Charlie Charlie. Charlie Charlie is a game, I guess, a bit like the Ouija board, but it's way more DIY. A person balances pencils on top of one another with no and yes written in squares. Charlie Charlie can't be used to summon any demon though. It seems that the infamous Charlie is the only one that will appear. And again, I'm not sure you want to meet him. Players of the game say something like, "Charlie Charlie, are you here?" and then the pencil moves and teenagers freak out on YouTube. That's the trend. So why do the pencils move? Clearly because a demon has been summoned, not because of friction and gravity. Demon. Coming in at number 7, we have the Living Doll. Do you know what? I really don't like a creepy doll. I don't. In fact, I feel like you shouldn't have dolls over the age of 10. Just get rid of them because they'll probably haunt you. They pop up everywhere and they're always causing paranormal havoc. Get those dolls out. So Living Doll is like a cocktail of paranormal game fusion. It's got a lot of scary game tropes. Candlesticks, mirrors, hiding, a doll. So here you're supposed to put a doll and a candle between 2 mirrors and say a little incantation. You then blow out the flame and wait for the doll to come and find you. If it finds you, then bad news bears. You're supposed to hide for around an hour and try not to get found. If you remain unfound, then good. Congratulations, you survive. You then return to the doll, which may have moved, pour salt on it and put it in a cupboard overnight. That ought to do it. Coming into number 6, we have Midnight Man. Midnight Man is a modern rehashing of an old pagan ritual and is essentially a game to summon a spirit. I feel like all of these games summon spirits, you know. To play, you write your name on a piece of paper. You have to prick your finger and produce a small drop of blood and put it on the paper. You then light a candle and then you tape the paper with your name on it to a wooden door. It has to be wooden, apparently, so. Timing is very important here. You have to then knock on the door 22 times, with the last knock coming exactly at the stroke of midnight. You then open the door, blow out the candle, close the door, relight the candle. To me, it's all a big faff. This apparently means that the Midnight Man is now in your house. Your job is to avoid being caught by the Midnight Man, who will try and scare you until 3:33 AM. No more, no less. Honestly, I'd much rather just be in bed having a good sleep. It sounds like way too much aggro. Whatever you do, don't say his name 5 times unless you want to play the game, in which case, go ahead. That's right guys, at number 5 we have Candyman. Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Actually, do you know what? I think I'll stop there. The Candyman is allegedly a murder victim with a hook for a hand, like Captain Hook, one of my favourite characters ever. He's mean. If you say Candyman's name 5 times, then you will summon him. The only issue, aside from summoning a demon, is, you know, he's angry. He probably wants you to die. There is a movie made about it. Have you seen it? Let me know. Coming into number 4, we have the Devil's Dog. Yet another summoning game, although this one doesn't require a mirror. Shocker. If calling forth the Hounds of Hell is high up on your to-do list, then you'll be pleased to know it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is close your eyes, although allegedly the game works best in a group of 4 with one person in the middle. Alone or together, you close your eyes and hunch into a little ball and say, Devil's Dog, Devil's Dog, Satan bring me Devil's Dog, over and over again until you feel scratch marks on your back. You'll likely even see them. This way you'll know that you've been marked by the Hellhounds. Apparently they'll provide you with protection, but you'll also be cursed, so, you know, again, Tea and Catan? Anyone? Coming into number 3, we have Mirror Tunnels. Mirror Tunnels is a classic parallel universe game. For this one, you're supposed to set up 2 very big mirrors facing one another, and then you physically stand in the middle. You stand looking in the mirror and count how many frames you can see over your shoulder in your reflection, like mirror after mirror after mirror after mirror, kind of like that bit in Black Swan. It's actually honestly probably enough to send you mad. So you were supposed to look out for movement in the frames. You should be standing still, but one of your reflections might move in another dimension. Honestly, to me it's all a bit mind-bending, but basically, so it goes. One version of you in a different dimension may bring something bad to your current dimension. Do you know what? I've gone cross-eyed. I feel like we need to move on. It's too much. Although I will say, in every world in which you exist, are you always going to be good? Honestly, probably better just to leave this one alone. Okay, this is another scary game that comes from Japan, and to me that makes it a little bit scarier. We have the bath game. Also known as Daruma-san, the bath game involves summoning a grotesque ghost, and then you gotta stop it from catching you. Again, I'm sensing a theme here. This is like very normal for Paranormal Games, right? Honestly, summoning a demon in the bath isn't my kind of party. I'd rather have a candle and a glass of wine and a good book, but whatever floats your boat. It seems that this game involves taking a bath at night in the dark and sitting facing the taps. You're supposed to wash your hair and then repeat the words Daruma-san fell down over and over again. You've got to keep your eyes shut, but you'll feel a presence in the bath with you. When you feel the presence, you should ask, why did you fall in the bath? When you feel like the presence finally leaves you, you've got to get out of the bath, but leave the water where it is, don't drain it. The next morning is when the game begins. The ghost of Daruma will follow you. She'll get closer as the day goes on, but you cannot let her catch you. When you see her over your shoulder, you must shout Kita, which means I cut you loose, and then perform a karate chop. Kita! I mean, that sounds fun, but honestly, the whole thing sounds pretty pointless. Why spend a day escaping a demon when you could just, you know, be having a good day? Pray for devils have no reason. Satan waits to curse your ways. Have you seen it in his eyes in the sunset? Have you wonder if he's laughing when he plays? That's right, coming into number 1 we have the Devil's Game. Great! So I found that terrifying description on a game listed on creepypasta.com, and it seems that the game has a 9.1 out of 10 rating from over 5,000 votes, so it must be scary. The game allegedly allows you to speak with the devil, and if you do it right, I quote, there's a fair chance you'll walk away scot-free. Good. The purpose of the game is not to make a deal with the devil, but just to ask him things. What type of things? Well, the post reads that he could very well be able to predict the winning numbers of tomorrow's Powerball, for example, or tell you what deadly undiagnosed condition might be afflicting one of your loved ones. How do you play? Well, the creepypasta says that the demon can be summoned at a church at midnight, but it works even better on a new moon, full moon, Friday the 13th, Halloween, etc. You will, you guessed it, need salt, 7 white or red candles, some matches, red string, a mirror. You cannot bring any electronic devices into the room, as apparently that is not something that the devil is okay with. Apparently all you have to do is light the candles and stare into the mirror and will the devil to come. When he appears, one is supposed to challenge him to a game of question and response. The best way to get a truthful answer from him, according to the creepypasta, is to accept a dare from him. Now I don't know about you, but I will not be doing any dares set to me by the devil.
Starting us off with number 10 is the elevator game. This one is extremely popular in Japan, and I feel like Japan just gets creepy stuff right like 99.9% of the time, so I trust them. Either way, the point of this game is to maybe transport to another world or parallel universe of sorts. To play, you have to be in a building that has at least 10 floors, and you have to be the only one in the elevator at all times. To start the game, you have to go to a sequence of floors in a specific order, but if any random person gets in the elevator while you're doing this, you have to start all over again, so it is a bit of a mission. So the order is the 4th floor, then the 2nd, then 6th, then 2nd, then 10th, and then finally the 5th. If a woman enters the elevator while you're on the 5th floor, do not look at her, don't speak to her, no eye contact, no nothing. This woman is not human and will keep you with her forever if you have any interaction with her. Once she enters, press the 1st floor and then the elevator will go up or down as it pleases, and it should take you to the 10th floor. At this point, leave the elevator straight away. The woman will ask you in an inhuman high-pitched voice where you're going or what's wrong. Do not answer her, just go. If you exit the elevator and it's dark, your phone doesn't work, and you see a red cross outside one of the windows, then you've reached the other world. Congratulations. And the only way to get back to our world is to repeat all the steps you did to leave it, but if you reach the 1st floor and the door opens but things seem off, even if a speck of dust is out of place, then do not exit the elevator because you will die. Apparently, this is what Eliza Lamb was doing in the elevator CCTV footage of her right before she died. And I've seen that footage, but I didn't know about the game at the point, and I was like, wow. Coming in at number 9 is Dry Bones. So if you like hide and seek, you're gonna like this one, or maybe you won't, depending on how much of a scaredy cat you are. I definitely am, but yeah. So Dry Bones is like hide and seek demon edition. Great, must they just interject in everything we do? So you can only play near midnight, and you start off by getting a candle and a match. At precisely 12:01 AM, you have to go to your bathroom and stare at the mirror while lighting the candle. Keep the match burning until it goes out completely, and then say, I am aware of your presence and I welcome you into my home. Come now. And this is essentially the point you're inviting a demon into your house, and if you've made it this far, this is the part where you run for your freaking life and hide like your life depends on it, cause it high-key does. To survive the game, you need to stay hidden till 3 AM. Once the clock hits 3, go to the largest room in your house and say thank you for playing, but you must leave now. You are no longer welcome. If you hear a groaning sound right after that, then the demon will leave your house and give you a prize of your choosing. I don't really know how this bit works, like do you have a conversation with the demon? Does it magically know what you want? I don't really know. But if you don't hear a groaning sound, then that means the demon wasn't satisfied with how you played, and let's just say you'll face a fate worse than death. So in conclusion, just don't lose. Easy. At number 8 we have 3 Kings. Now this game actually came from the No Sleep subreddit thread, which we all go and explore when we're, just feeling a type of way. Either way, in order to play you need 3 chairs. 2 have to face each other and there has to be a mirror on each one. The 3rd chair gets placed in the middle of the 2 chairs, and that one is your throne, making you the king. Hello, your highness. The mirrors constitute as your queen and your fool, but you don't know which one is which, and mind you, this all has to be done in the dark. And keep in mind, from the queen and fool's point of view, you're also either their queen or their fool. I said it was called 3 Kings, right? There have to be 3 kings. At 3:30 AM, sit on the throne with a lit candle facing one of the mirrors. Hold the candle, stare into the darkness, and start the game. The whole point of the game is to literally transport your consciousness to a whole other dimension or get to the shadow side. People have claimed they've had conversations with themselves in an out-of-body introspective experience or manner. You become able to look at your past and present through new eyes. Others have said the whole thing feels like a lucid dream almost, or meditation, which are 2 very different experiences, so I guess it really just depends on what you're like as a person. Let me know if you try it. I'd be very interested to know if you thought it was a lucid dream or meditation. Filling our number 7 slot is Concentrate. Now I totally get why a lot of people would want to play this one, and I also get why people wouldn't, so let me know which side you fall on. So this is actually classified as a scary sleepover game, but I'm like, which 15-year-old is gonna want to play this? I would not have been doing this at 15, but that's me. Either way, if you're the one playing, you need to close your eyes and sit on the ground while a friend friend sits behind you reciting a dark poem about babies crying and people dying. The poem is long as hell. I'm not going to stand here reciting the whole thing for you, but you can Google it if you want to play. While they're reciting it, the person has to be lightly tapping the back of the person who's actually playing. They then imitate murdering you in multiple ways. Get creative here, people, you know, get those slit throats in there. And then finally, your friend has to push you over from your sitting position. By the end of this whole experience, you should feel like you're in a trance of some kind, and this trance essentially allows you to see how you yourself will end up dying. Apparently, you'll see a color of some kind, and that color corresponds to a way of death. Again, you can find it on Google. Hey man, some people just want to know about the end and others don't. To each their own. I think I would not want to play this game. I don't want to know how I go. It can just remain a mystery. I don't want to predict it. I don't want to know. Now, number 6 is Baby Blue, and this is a game you actually play on your own, so maybe on a lonely Saturday night if your friends ditch you, you can play this. Not. The purpose of the game is to basically have a baby appear in your arms, and I know you're hoping for a cute little egg of a baby, but that is not the baby you'll be getting. How to play? Go into your bathroom alone, turn the lights off and close the door. Isolation? Check. Next, look into the mirror and cradle your arms like you're already holding a baby. Remember to support the head, people, that's very important. Next, you have to say baby blue, blue baby 13 times. When you're done, you're meant to feel the weight of a baby in your arms, and in some horrible variations of the game, you're meant to flush the baby down the toilet. And you have to do this quickly, because if you don't, a woman appears inside the mirror screaming at you, telling you to give her baby back to her. The woman can actually come out of the mirror and physically hurt you if you don't flush the baby quick enough, so get to flushing. I really don't see the appeal of this game at all. I'm not trying to get scratched or killed just for summoning a fake baby. Nah, B. Nah. Coming in at number 5 is the Closet Game. Now, I don't know who in their right mind would actually want to play this, but I don't judge, so if you want to play it, go right ahead. Now, the sole purpose of this game is to summon a demon into your home, whether that's to haunt it, to just spread bad juju around you. I don't know, maybe you hate your parents and you want to piss them off. Maybe you're lonely and a demon seems like good company to you, I don't know. To start the game, you have to stand in your closet with the door closed with an unlit match in your hand. You then have to say, show me the light or leave me in the darkness. Dramatic, I know. After saying this, you should hear a very faint whisper of some kind, and when you do, you have to light the match ASAP Rocky. That is key, you guys. If you don't do it quickly enough, the demon you just called upon can suck you into a pit of eternal darkness forever. That's just really not the vibe we're going for here. So light the match on time, open the closet door, and step out slowly, and voila. Your room or house should now be haunted or protected or cursed by a demon. But just a safety tip, if you do play this game, you should never look inside your closet without light after it. And if you accidentally leave your closet door open at night, you'll definitely be able to see the demon's red glowing eyes watching you from inside. And if you want that, then knock yourself out, but yeah. At number 4 is the Answer Man. Now, this is another one from Japan, and it's a bit of an urban legend. Apparently, the game invokes an evil spirit if done correctly, so if that sounds like your jam, then listen up. Now, with this one, you have to play with 10 people, so if you don't have 10 friends, I certainly don't, then you can't play the game. I'm sorry, you loner. So step 1 is to sit in a circle, and you all have to have your phones on you. On the count of 3, or just at the same time, every person has to call the person on their left and then listen. Since everyone's calling each other all at the same time, everyone should hear the busy ringtone, and no one's call should be answered. But one call will be. If your call gets answered, that is the Answer Man. If you get him on the phone, you can ask him absolutely anything, and he will answer it truthfully and rightfully. But with every question you ask, he gets to ask you a question too that you have to answer. If you answer his questions wrong or don't answer them period, then a gnarled, bony hand will appear out of the phone and tear off a piece of your body. Honestly, I'm down to play this game as long as my call isn't the one that gets answered. I don't mind being, like a spectator to the mayhem. I don't want to be involved, but I'll be eating popcorn and watching everything unfold. Safe over there. Filling our number 3 slot is the Dark Reflection Ritual, and contrary to the title of it, it still is a game, not just a ritual, so don't worry, I didn't snake you. So the whole point of this one is to boost your luck, but to do that, you're gonna have to go through a night of terrible, terrible luck to get there. You can play this game by yourself if you're ballsy, or in a group. If you're not, I would definitely play it in a group, because personally there is strength in numbers and I'm not trying to die, or at least I'm not trying to die first. So you play by finding a mirror. A small handheld one is the best one to have, and you have to look at your reflection in the eyes for a few seconds. While you do this, you you have to focus all your bad negative energy and breathe it onto the mirror till it fogs up completely. At that point, you quickly hold the mirror to a burning flame to create a black smudge on it. After that, the rock star can come out of you a bit because then you get to smash the mirror, which is a lot of fun. But your rock star dreams are gonna end very shortly after that because the rest of the night will be hell. Bad luck will follow you and get worse and more dangerous as the night goes on. Be on your guard, try not to die, and if you survive till the sun rises, then you've basically won at life. The game is meant to give you success in everything you do very shortly after, and to be honest, this game is sounding real tempting to me right now. Be right back. Now at number 2 is the telephone ritual. This one's extremely dangerous, so you really need to proceed with caution on this one. I mean, then again, they all are. So what you need is a phone, salt, a flashlight, but you can also use the light on your phone, and an amulet for protection. But that one's optional. I mean, how many people have a handy dandy amulet just lying around? I certainly don't. So this one can only be played alone and only at night. After midnight when you're home alone, turn off all the lights in your house and make your way to your bathroom. Scatter salt around the toilet door and make a sort of barrier of salt outside it and then lock yourself inside. Use the flashlight to light up the surface of water in the toilet bowl and just keep staring at the water. And please try not to or something in there beforehand because that's just going to make for a very unpleasant game. While still staring into the bowl, call your house phone and let it ring and don't hang up. And at this point, one of two things can happen. If you start seeing the surface of the water change or you hear a noise from inside the house, then hang up ASAP and scatter salt all around yourself. Now the second thing that can happen is that if someone answers your call, then hang up straight away, get the hell out of the toilet, put salt around the house phone, and hopefully you'll be safe in that moment, but not for long. To be on the safest side, just sprinkle salt all around your house after this. But the point of the game is that apparently the ghost of an ancestor or a spirit that haunts your house is meant to answer the phone and kind of just be in your house. I'm honestly not trying to awaken any demon ghost entity that lives in my house. You can just stay in hibernation, thank you. And finally, at number 1 is the picture game. If you're a paranormal ghost lover, then saddle up because this one is for you, and there are many rules to this one, so pay attention please and thank you. Any number of people can play, and the point is to catch a ghost or entity on camera. You have to start the game at midnight in a quiet room. Out of string or rope, make a circle by tying the ends together and place this rope circle in the middle of your chosen room. Place a glass in the middle of the rope circle and fill it with wine or any alcoholic drink really. Then everyone should sit in a circle around the rope and have a mirror in front of them, but the reflective part has to be facing the ceiling. A lot of rules, I know, but that's just the setup. Now the game actually begins. Everyone has to close their eyes, hold hands, and one after the other say I trust you. Not all at once, one after the other. After everyone's done that, everyone has to say the door is open, please come in 3 times in unison, and then you can open your eyes. With a camera, every person has to say I caught you, then take a picture of the middle of the circle. Don't preview the photo, just say the words and take it. Then pass the camera around and repeat till each person has taken 3 pictures, so the camera's gone around the circle 3 times at that point. At any point, if anyone starts feeling like vomiting or begins to cry, do not let them take any pictures, just make them pass the camera on. Once you've done all that, put the camera down, close your eyes again, and say it is time to go home 3 times in unison. Each person has to then turn their mirror upside down, put the lights on, and use some sharp tool to cut the rope circle, empty the drink into the earth, and review the pictures and prepare to be shocked. If you do end up doing this, please show me if you see anything weird on your camera film, like I really want to know. Camera film? We're in the digital era. Your SD card.